Good day to the honorable judges. My name is Desiree, a Form 4 student from Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Kapit, school code YEE7101. Today, I would like to review one of the best light novels that I've read so far, entitled I Had That Same Dream Again. This light novel is written by a Japanese novelist named Yoru Sumino, who's currently living in Osaka. She debuted in 2015, and her notable work is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. In 2016, she won second place in Japan Booksellers Award. This light novel was published by Seven Seas Entertainment in 2020, and it has over 300 pages with 12 chapters and 4 characters. These characters are Nanoka, Minami, Skeng-san, and an elderly woman simply known as Granny. Now, let's dive straight into the story. First, let me summarize the story a bit. The story follows an elementary student named Nanoka Kayonagi, who has been tasked with defining what happiness means to her as a school project. Initially, Nanoka isn't sure how to answer and asks for her friend's advice instead. Nanoka's friends is a high school girl named Minami, a lady known as Skeng-san, and an elderly woman who she calls Granny. Each of Nanoka's friends has an interesting backstory to tell. Minami is an unhappy teenager who lost both of her parents in an accident and engages in self-harm to feel something. Skeng is a lady who helps save her cat. She lives on her own and is ostracized by society. No one knows her, no one cares about her, except for Nanoka. In contrast to the other two, Granny lives a much happier life. She owns a nice house in the woods and enjoys baking treats for when Nanoka comes to visit. As Nanoka gets closer to these three unique individuals, the stories and experiences has shaped a pathway for her towards soul-searching and self-discovery. Now, here comes my favorite part of the story, the unexpected ending, where Nanoka woke up and finally realized that she has been dreaming this whole time. And the three characters that she met, which is Minami, Skeng-san, and Granny, is her other selves from different time periods. My mind was blown the moment I read this part. Since it reminds me of whenever I was at my lowest, I would try to do anything to make myself happy again, which quite similar to those three characters, which where they helps Nanoka with finding what happiness really means to her. And it taught me that if there is anyone that can help me with finding my happiness, then the first person would be me, myself. This light novel is suitable for all age range to read, but I highly recommend it for teenagers to read them, as it contains useful moral values for teenagers before stepping into their adulthood. To be honest, the first chapter may be confusing and flat, but trust me, lots of amazing plots are waiting for you to read them. Let's now turn to the moral value that I discovered from this story. I've learned one valuable lesson from this story, which is learn to overcome our fears. Running away from the thing that frightens us isn't always the best solution. Instead, we have to find the best solution to overcome it. But first, we have to know where did this fear came from and understand why do we have them. After that, we can slowly find a way to overcome it and eliminate the fear completely. Before reading this book, I was as clueless as Nanoka when it comes to defining what happiness really means to me. But after reading this book, I have actually learned that happiness actually came from different aspects, and happiness actually means different on each person. Some may find their happiness by doing good deeds, some may find their happiness by doing the things that they like, while some people actually find their happiness by seeing their loved ones happy. Aside from that, this book actually helps a lot with me trying to do a self-discovery, since I finally found what truly brings out my happiness, what are my fears, and why do I have them. In conclusion, this book helps a lot with someone who's trying to do a self-discovery. Now that's all from me. Thank you.